In this next lesson, we're going to place a border and title block around your end table. Go ahead, open up DesignCAD, locate your end table drawing that is dimensioned. If you haven't dimensioned or drawn your end table, please refer to the previous lessons on drawing and dimensioning an end table. You can browse, click the down arrow on Homes, mine's in the desktop. Under drafting files, you should have an IA folder for yours. Press open, and you get your dimensioned end table. At this point, I don't really need this ruler, and it's taking up valuable space. So I'm going to right click and get rid of it. Now, just by getting rid of that and pressing the negative sign on the magnifying glass once, I have enough space around here to draw a title block. So to draw a title block, your title blocks are all dependent. The sizes are all dependent on the drawing itself. So to give you a generic title block, it's kind of a waste of time. It all depends on your size of drawing. So let's just take this box drawing tool, and we're going to draw a box by just dragging or clicking and dragging a box around. And we want to leave a little bit of white space around your drawing. So this will be your border, approximately like this. Now, if it isn't exactly centered, you're just kind of eyeballing this. You can click this and you can actually drag and move this. But I think I like whereabouts I placed it in the first part. And there you have it, your border. We also need a title block. So that's underneath the border. Actually, I'm going to move this up just a tad. And I'm going to place a title block under here. Scroll up, get your ortho line drawing tool, right click, and I want to go down a set number because I'm actually going to parallel some lines after this. So let's go down one enough. How about 1.5? 1.25 I'm going to settle on. So point relative, tab, negative 1.25. And I'm going to press enter again because I want these to be separate lines. I don't want them to be joined. So right click, point relative, negative 1.25, enter, enter. Get your ortho line drawing tool, right click or snap to this point and snap to this point, press enter to draw the line black. Now this is your title block. And if I fit to screen, it looks approximately right. If it's incorrect, we can always change it. Now we're going to grab the parallel tool. And we want to parallel this bottom line up, and we want to, well, 2 times up because this is a separate line. So we can't parallel this one because you can see it parallels the whole box. So let's say we put in 0.25 and we parallel this up. So it was 1.25, so that means we have 1 left over here, and we want to go another 0.75, so this is 0.25 left over. So we're going to parallel that, 0.75, so that was 0.25 and 0.75. And in the space left over is where we can put our information. We want to put in our name, title, grade, and period. Now this possibly won't fit all that information in there if we use too big of lettering. Okay, but we'll try. Let's start by putting in our name, always in capital letters, Mr. Cardinal. And for you, you just put your first initial and last name. Oh, that's humongous. I wonder how much space I have. So let's just, before we do that, let's just go from here, right click, and I have 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so that's how big my dimension or text is. So press text, type in 0.75. Now this should work better. Yep, that's better, 0.75. And now I'm going to put a title, end table. I think I'm going to run out of room unless I start to abbreviate, which is possible. Let's put grade, so GR 10. Drawing is mostly done in grade 10. And period, so P, let's just put P space 1 for period 1. So it's abbreviated. The other option is if we use a smaller font or smaller lettering. So let's zoom into that. And you can see here that this isn't quite on the line. So I'm just going to drag it down a bit. I'm going to, well, that one looks pretty good. This one here, not bad. Let's maybe drag it down just a tad. And that looks good there. I could possibly move this over a little bit. And I can then take this one and I can center it in between. So this, I'm not giving you any exact dimensions. I'm just going to let you use your artistic license for this. Get it so that it's even and spread out nicely. And then we're going to take the ortho line drawing tool and we're going to use a tool called line snap. So that's down here, line snap. If it's not showing, if you right click in this area, it's your snap toolbar right there. It should be highlighted. See, we can take it away or we can get it back. So there's that line snap. And when I have line snap, see how it jumps to the line? This becomes a left click tool. So we're going to go about in between those two letters. Left click. I want to snap here. Line snap's not available. So I'm going to get line snap again. That little box shows up and snap again. Press enter. Do the exact same thing for over here. Grab the tool. Grab line snap. Click. And I have to get line snap again. And click there. Zoom out. Let's see what this looks like as a whole. Not bad. Let's delete our guideline. So click on it, press the delete key on your keyboard. And while we're at it, before we do any more, let's save this. So File, Save As. I'm going to save mine as end table dimensioned with, oh, don't need caps locks on, with border. I'll just put with border. And save it under your folder. Again, mine is drafting files, but yours should say Industrial Arts 10, 11, or 12. Save. And the last thing we need to do with this is double click on the border. Let's change our width of our line. Let's try 0.1, see what we get. We get not a whole bunch. Let's try another one. Let's try 0.5. We get too much. So let's try 0.2. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's a little bit heavy. I'm going to try 0.15. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Now let's make all of them 0.15. The great thing about computers is if it's not good, you can redo it. What was I saying? 1.15. And if you forget, you can always double check by double clicking on the line and then it'll show up. Okay, so 0.15. And there you have it, a completed table with dimensions and a border and title block. We're going to save that because we have it saved as end table dimension with border. I can just click on the save button and we're done.